Welcome back to Now You Know News. Our top story for this evening involves some agile ninja turtles who've reached an impasse. These little critters just can't seem to get past chicken wire.
Yes, that's right. The freshwater eastern long-necked turtle, or Cheladina longicollis, has issues with this commonly used barrier. According to a study by Dowling and their colleagues, this man-made obstacle poses a real risk to their ability to move between the temporary waterways that it calls home.
For more on the story, we go to Gregory McGregory for a special Three Corners report on the situation.
I'm Gregory McGregory, and this is a Three Corners report.
Welcome to this Three Corners report, where we triangulate the news, the truth, and you. Today we focus on the eastern long-necked turtle, which is found across southeastern Australia. This species makes use of ephemeral or seasonal wetlands, moving between patches of viable habitat as it needs, and as individual sites degrade in quality. We now cross over to an interview with Mr. Scientist.
We've gained some new insights from a recent study conducted in March of 2023 at New Home Smart Farm, New South Wales. Dowling and his fellow researchers from the University of New England were testing the ability of the eastern long-necked turtle to cross various barriers or obstacles that are typically found in agricultural areas. Well, 18 eastern long-necked turtles were captured with fight nets, and a 180-meter square structure with 18 individual pens was built. Each of these pens had different obstacles for the turtles to cross, including grass, gravel, cobbles, boulders, exclusion fencing, and chicken wire. Every day, each turtle would be assigned to a particular pen and would be placed into a pool with food on one side of the pen for about an hour. After this, the turtles would be removed from the pool and placed on the opposite side of their pen. The turtles would then be allowed 23 hours to cross the obstacle and return back to the pool, during which their movements would be recorded with time-lapse cameras. After the 23 hours, the turtles were checked on to see if they successfully crossed the obstacle or not. This process was repeated for 18 days so that each turtle was assigned to every single pen throughout the experiment. What was found in this study was that no turtle was able to successfully cross chicken wire. In addition to this, while the turtles were able to successfully cross the other obstacles, they spent relatively long periods of time trying to do this, which greatly increases their risk of dying by overheating, by exhaustion, and even by predators. And this problem is only made worse for the turtles that were trying to cross chicken wire.
Now, the main stakeholders affected by this issue are landowners, particularly farmers. Some willing to help these turtles out, others less so. We'll talk now to a sincere farmer who cares about the plight of this species, and an angry farmer who does not.
Yep. So we use a lot of chicken wire here on the farm, and that main reason is just to keep our stock in and safe and the pests out. But sadly, that creates this dilemma where the turtles who live in our property can't actually get through to where they need to go, to their water systems, their natural habitat. So when I found that out, that was quite tragic for me personally, and it's made me realize that I'd be absolutely 100% on board to help out and give assistance in any way I can, and I'd love to be able to do that. I just don't know how. So if we can all achieve that common goal, that'd be fantastic for animal welfare.
I don't know what to do about these turtles. I mean, they're of least concern. They're not even bloody endangered. Like, why should I be concerned if they're least concerned? Sounds like the turtles aren't concerned. Now, I can't have gaps in my fencing in case the foxes come and get me lambs. I already have enough bloody problems with the frost. Now I have to deal with caring about these turtles. What next? Can't bloody get wedge-tailed eagles off the carcasses? Bloody hell.
There were two factors that had to be taken into consideration for this study. The first is the boldness of these turtles, or in other words, their willingness to try and cross the obstacle. Because the turtles that were used in this study were in captivity, external dangers, particularly predators, were not a threat to these turtles. And because of this, the turtles in this study may be more bold than turtles typically found in the wild. However, the study confirmed that the boldness of a turtle doesn't influence their ability to successfully cross obstacles. Secondly, we have to consider the effects of fatigue in these turtles. These turtles underwent much more movement than wild turtles because they had to cross an obstacle every single day. And as these turtles get more fatigued, they are not as capable of crossing these obstacles. This really highlights the limitation in this study. Because these turtles are progressively becoming more fatigued as the study proceeds, their ability to cross obstacles lowers, and this is not actually representative of what a wild turtle would experience. This study really highlights the need for wildlife-friendly fencing in agriculture. So occasionally you can find some small holes or gaps in fencing that can potentially allow turtles to cross. What these farmers can do is that they could make some small gaps in their fencing at regular intervals to help these turtles to more easily cross their fencing. And because holes are already found in fencing, typically, this really shouldn't have an impact on the effectiveness of a fence. Another solution that can be looked into is one-way gates that are tailored specifically to these turtles. And these one-way gates would be actually quite similar to those that can be found in conservation areas for small mammals.
Yeah, we should be able to provide gaps just small enough for the turtles to fit through safely. And I'd also really like to add those one-way gates that people have been talking about, because it allows the turtles to get to their natural ecosystem, their waterways in our property, as well as our animals being confined and safe where we know where they are and we can account for them. So that's a great solution.
Weren't those turtles cute? It makes me want to say cowabunga.
Oh, that's right. And now for some more bodacious news, we turn to Daniel Gibson with the weather. Go ahead, Daniel.
Well, it's not raining.